Welcome to another edition of the CS Podcast, where you can hear interviews with special guests such as
Dayon Buchanan, Tom Waddle, Pierre Desir, Brent Barry, Ed Werder,
and many others.
Too big, too strong, too fast, too good.
So be sure to subscribe and tune in to the CS Podcast on YouTube at youtube.com/ChristianRE722.
Did you not get the memo?
That's www.youtube.com/ChristianRE722 for great interviews. Be sure to check out the CS Podcast.
You are ridiculous.
Welcome back to the CS Podcast. I'm your host, Chris Shanafel, and I'm now joined by Wayne State Wildcats cornerback and 2015 NFL Draft prospect, Jerron Erby. Thanks for joining the show, Jerron. How's it going, man?
I'm doing good. How you doing?
I'm doing great. I gotta say, it's a pleasure to have you on the show. So we're gonna go ahead and get started. And I know that early on in your high school career, you broke your tibia as a sophomore, actually. And then your senior year, your family moved and you went to a different high school where you had a first-year head coach that didn't have too much experience, and you guys didn't have too much exposure. I'm just curious, how do you feel that the little exposure that you did get impact your college decision?
I mean, it definitely limited me, I'd say, because a lot of guys I knew coming out of high school, they went to bigger schools or more normal schools, so they got more scouts and whatnot to attend their games. But, I mean, all in all, it's still a good recruiting experience I had, but I feel like if I possibly had a coach like, more experience, more options, more things might have been available to me, but everything's happened for a reason.
And I know you had some conversations with San Jose State and Fresno State, but you weren't offered anything. You had some help getting to Wayne State, but as you were approached by a guy by the name of Montel Allen, who had some connections, and you were able to talk to about 25 Division II football coaches, and that was when you decided to attend Wayne State. Now, I'm just wondering, how did you decide that Wayne State was going to be the place for you, and did you consider any other schools?
Well, honestly, Wayne State was one of the first people that Montel connected me with. And from then on, other coaches and whatnot, schools contacted me. But I was talking to the defensive coordinator at Wayne State at the time for a while, so I kind of had a closer connection with him than some of the other schools. But I actually ended up narrowing it down to Wayne State, Humboldt State, the D2 out of California, Northern California, and also the team who just won the national championship, Northwest Missouri. When it came down to it, I had a week. Wayne and Northwest wanted me to visit on the same weekend, and I've been talking to Wayne longer and felt more comfortable, so I ended up taking my business there. And mainly, the school and education seemed like good. Almost everywhere I looked at, the education from where I could fit in. But at Wayne, there was a chance of immediate playing time I could battle for, and I like that. Coming out of high school, of course, everybody wants to play. So I took that chance, and it ended up working out for me, and I played as a true freshman.
And you hit it right on the head, Jerron. You were able to play right away for the Wayne State Wildcats as a true freshman at the age of 17, and you appeared in 5 games, and it was as a sophomore when you were in and out of the starting lineup. You told me that you and your defensive coordinator at the time weren't on the same page, and that's why you weren't on the field as much as you would have liked to have been. Now, fast forward to your junior year, Jerron. You have your coaches telling you that you'll be a starter, that you should be all conference, but you suffer a shoulder injury during spring ball, and you would then have to work your way back into the starting rotation during that season. You and your coaches are thinking that it's going to be a big year, and here you are, you're having to share snaps with another corner. I got to think that's a little disappointing after entering the season so confident with big expectations for yourself, and then having that injury set you back a little bit. Now, with that being said, though, you still had a pretty good season. You still had a pretty impressive season as you recorded 39 tackles, 3.5 tackles for loss, 1 quarterback sack, 2 interceptions, and 4 forced fumbles. That's a pretty impressive stat line, especially seeing as you were only on the field for half of the time. How exactly would you describe this past season, your junior year at Wayne State, man?
I mean, yeah, like you said, of course, everybody wants to be on the field. You know, if you think you're good enough, of course you want to play. And so, you know, I was playing, but of course not starting was a little frustrating. But then you mature, you think about the bigger picture. If another guy on the team is doing well, you know, if the team is succeeding, you know, you can't be greedy. You have to be happy with that. So to the other corners, you basically have to work with what you got, you know. So when I wasn't starting, I basically just got more determined. My coach sat down, had a talk with me, and told me that if you want it, you know, you have to prove it. You know, just because we know you're good enough doesn't mean anything gets handed to you. So that just made me more hungrier. So when I got out on the field, I tried to make a play every time. I tried to, you know, prove to them as well as any opponent that I'm facing that when number 5's up there, you know, you have to keep your head on the swivel. You have to watch what he's doing. So that was basically my goal. And personally, with the opportunities I've given, I believe I did definitely have a good year, but there's always room for improvement. This year I want to do at least double that, you know. But it's not always about individual. As far as the team aspect, 2-9, I'm not happy with that at all. You know, we got to come out hungrier. We have to work harder. Everybody wants wins. That's the main goal, to get wins. So next year, as of now, that's what we're doing right now, working hard every day, trying to get at it and get better and better. So we can come up with some more wins next year.
Absolutely. Now, you've been at Wayne State for 3 years, and you're now entering your 4th and final season. I know you want to go out with a bang, but any chance you could tell us about that very first college football interception you recorded, who it was against, what it felt like, stuff like that?
It actually happened this past year. My teammates made fun of me. My hands aren't the best, and so I get a whole bunch of pass deflections. They say I should probably set the school record for pass deflections because I either drop interceptions or always bat them down. So I'm definitely working on that. But this past year, actually, I had my first interception at Northern State. I was guarding a post route, and we have an All-American safety this past year in Austin for Michael, and his man free. He's playing deep center, and he saw the post coming, and I saw the ball coming. I tried to break on it, and he actually broke in front of me, and he tipped it instead of taking it off. He tipped it, and then I caught it off the tip, and I actually slipped once I caught it, and ended up getting negative 2 yards on the return. So my teammates always make fun of me on that. I caught it at the 5, slipped and fell down to the 3. But also helped my quarterback. The very next play is at the 3-yard line. They were on a long drive. I picked it off at the 3. But then the very next play from our own 3-yard line, my quarterback Zach Osborne threw a 97-yard touchdown catch to add a start. So I helped him set a school record. So,
Nice. You know, go figure, man. You get your first interception. Your teammates are always giving you a hard time about tipping the ball. You finally get that first interception, and it's for negative yardage. But the next play was that 97-yard touchdown, like you said, so you definitely cannot go wrong with that. Now, Dron, a turnover is a turnover, but as a cornerback, would you rather show off your hands and pick the ball off, or would you rather show that you could lay a hard hit and force a fumble?
That's a really hard decision because I'm one of, like, you know, there's some cover corners, there's some more hard-hitting corners, and I love to come up and make a hit. But also, I believe my specialty is, like, man-to-man, you know, I try to be a shutdown corner. So when I'm one-on-one on the island with someone, if I can get a pick off them, it makes me feel real good. You know, if I can read the route coming and whatnot, that's probably what I feel I'm best at. So I love that. But also if I can come up, make a bone-jarring tackle, you know, have the opponent laying on the ground for a little bit, I like that too.
All right, now of course you just talked a little bit about your first interception. What would you say is the biggest or most memorable play of your college football career thus far?
I have to say actually it's really hard. There's probably going to be two. My sophomore year, we each other. So if a deep pass, I could get it down 4 or something like that. But I think two. I actually made a hit on third down, then second and third down. They threw my way and knocked the ball down both times on the stage. So that was actually a big game to help us get a win. But this past year is probably the biggest one. The first game of the season, we're away at Northern State. It's a battle that comes down to the fourth quarter. They're probably setting up for about a 30-yard field goal. And there's 2 seconds left in the game. I think like 3rd and 8 or something like that. They're on like the 22 or something like that. But our field goal block team is going to go in. And I'm not normally on that, but I went to my defensive coordinator and told him, like, if you put me in, I'll block the kid. Because I've been watching the whole time, and their in guy on their field goal team was thinking down. So, like, right before our block team went out there, I went to him and told him, if you put me in, I'll block it. He put me in, and before you know, went off the edge, blocked it, and we recovered, gave us a shot at overtime. We ended up losing in triple overtime, but that was probably the biggest play. Like, their fans were devastated. Like, we were on the sidelines, pumped up. You know, we got a shot at overtime. They could have won the game, but that's probably the biggest play I feel like I've made.
Christian NFL talking with Wayne State Wildcats defensive back and 2015 NFL draft prospect Jerron Erby. And Jerron, what are both your personal and team expectations for this upcoming season? It's your senior year. Like I said earlier, you want to go out with a bang. I just know it. It's your final year of college football, man. And, I know you want to be on the field more this year. I certainly know you want to improve that 2-9 record that you mentioned that you guys had last year. So what are your expectations for this upcoming season?
I guess personally, like you said last year, I feel like if you're doing something and you're not striving to be the best or want to be the best, then you shouldn't be doing it in the first place. So, simply, I want to be as good as I can be, try to, be up there with the big-time T2 names, the Pierre, the Beard, and whatnot. So, any honors and accolades are definitely something I like. But as far as the team goes, I'd love to hear my name with All-Region or All-American. But when you're not winning, it's not as much fun. I want the team to do well, and I want if I can get some. 11-0, 10-0, 10-1, and the championship, get a ring, go to the playoffs. That's really what I want. I want everybody to succeed from the offense and the defensive side of the ball. So as far as a team goal, a ring would be lovely. I want that NSIC conference ring.
Absolutely. Now, just a few more questions, then I'll let you go, Dron. I do appreciate your time. What do you feel are your biggest strengths and weaknesses as a cornerback?
Strength-wise, like I mentioned before, man-to-man, I feel like, especially at this level, I like to think I can guard almost anybody. Basically anybody in the nation. I love to go head-to-head with whoever I guess they feel like is the best. And that it took the chip on my shoulder, I like to talk, so if you talk, you have to back it up. So as far as man-to-man, knowing what my man's going to do, different route concepts, I feel like that's definitely a strength of mine, as well as reading the quarterback. And weaknesses, also, I'm sorry, but also as far as my age, as you mentioned, I was 17 when I came in, so I started school early. So even though I'm about to be a senior and only 20, I feel like I'm not close to my peak yet. Still improving, still trying to gain knowledge of the game day in and day out. So I feel like that's also a strength. A lot of people, I guess, when they get their senior year, people are usually at, I guess, as good as they're going to be. But I feel like my game's still growing, so that's also a good thing. But as far as weaknesses, I want to get better in my breaks consistently. sometimes like they might be a little timid or think, like they might do something, but I just have to be confident with what I'm reading. Sometimes I'm hesitant, and then if I don't do what I think I should do, if I would have did it, I would have made a play. It happens all the time. But that's an area I just have to be more confident completely, as well as always finishing hard.
All right. And if you would compare yourself to a cornerback currently playing in the NFL today, who do you think that would be and why?
I think I have to say Tyrann Mathieu. I love his intensity, his fire out of the game. He's also not that big. As well as his turnovers and whatnot. It seems like not always, but I know when to, make a play and have that instinct. Get forced fumbles as well as recoveries, a couple interceptions, but he's always out there making plays from the return game to slot to outside corner. I feel like I can do basically the type of things he does, and he's definitely one of my favorite corners to watch.
Yeah, I'm a huge fan of the Honey Badger. I'm sorry, what was that?
I said, as well as Joe Hayden.
Okay. Not those are definitely not bad cornerbacks. I can tell you that. And of course, the Honey Badger. It's funny that you mentioned Tyrann Mathieu because he's listed as a safety. But if you go back and you look more into it, he actually played more snaps at cornerback than safety last year. Of course, his season ended shorter than expected because he tore that ACL. But definitely a versatile player, definitely a playmaker at both safety and cornerback, and those are definitely not bad comparisons. I'll definitely tell you that. Now, my next question for you, Dron, the 2014 NFL Draft was a little over a month ago. I know you plan on entering the 2015 Draft. At any point during the 2014 NFL Draft, did you think that, man, this time next year I could be making my dream come true? I mean, especially because you mentioned the guy out of Lindenwood, Pierre Desir. He's a Division II cornerback. He was drafted in the 4th round, so anything's possible. Just have a big year. Does that kind of help you out at all? Seeing a D2 guy go in the draft and just thinking that next year's your time.
Yeah, I feel like everyone always knows they're capable of things. You have to yourself. You think you might be able to go to the next or whatnot, and then when I see other D2 guys making it, like you said, Pierre Desir, as well as I know both of the corners from Northwest Missouri, one of them got drafted, another got picked up. So a couple D2 corners went to the league this year, and from seeing that, it definitely made me, really take a look at myself and think if I really work as hard as I can and do everything that people are telling me to do, who knows, I could be in the same position there right now, 360 days. And then when you start to get text messages from friends and other players, like coaches telling you, like, do you see, like it's possible, do you see what they're doing? Like, if you work hard, you're capable of the same thing. So when you get that encouragement from us, I feel like that's really what pushed me. Like it's not just me. Other people think I can do it. So let me not disappoint them. Let me go hard and try to do everything in my power I can to better myself each day.
Right on. Now, Dron, I gotta say it's been a true pleasure speaking with you, man. I'm certainly wishing you nothing but the best of luck this upcoming season. I'm looking forward to see what you could do. Now, before I let you go, is there anything you'd like to say to myself and our listeners?
I just want to say thank you for the opportunity. Definitely appreciate it. And basically look out for the Wayne State Wildcats in 2014 full time.
All right. Sounds great, Dron. Thank you very much for your time, and take care, all right, man?
Yes, sir. Thank you. I appreciate it.
Thanks for tuning into the CS Podcast. I hope you enjoyed. Please check out all of my past interviews at www.youtube.com/ChristianRE722. Once again, that's www.youtube.com/ChristianRE722. And be sure to follow me on Twitter at Chris Shanafelt.